Alright, we're jumping straight into another World Cup game, this time between Philippines and France. It's a Scorpion Mirror, and we just get in time for the first round. They've done mulligans, and on one side we see a Bayushi Manipulated with 1 fate, and on the other side we see a Bayushi Liar with no fate, and a pass from the Manipulator side, and another Liar with 1 fate. The bids coming out is 6-5 for the player, of course, with the Manipulator. And we're going to have a very quick peek at the deck list. One is City of the Open Hand, Crane Splash, Soul Beyond Approach, Noble Sacrifice, Voice of Honor, running Kachiko, Cunning, Kikyu, Collector, a few attachments, Mark of Shame, Fire Madness, 1 Cloud, otherwise just events. Pretty standard on the... actually not that standard, uses Armoro and Shiori and Shouju on the Dynasty side, so slightly more expensive than normal. And the other side is pretty much actual standard Dishonor Scorp, which looks... Alright, runs Forged Edict, and the other player runs Forged Edict as well, so both are on Forged Edict. Okay, so we get back into the game, and we're gonna make the screen slightly larger for you guys. And here we go. We see the Bayushi Manipulator attacking into Upholding Authority with the Earth Ring on military, and in response is instantly a Fiery Madness. I'm gonna move this over here. And because there are no pumps in that player's deck, so that's just it. The conflict ends. Can't pump over that. Right, and we see the crackback. Oh, finds Abandoning Honor this early. That's actually kind of rough, because that's an important province when it comes to Dishonor often. So you gotta be pretty happy about that. Finding Upholding Authority with the first attack, which could otherwise be pretty scary. If you just look at finding Upholding Authority, for instance, instead is probably a little bit of a death sentence. And the other player runs only nothing really strange here. Alright, and we see the Goblin Sneak come down and trigger to steal a fate, and the response to this is the playing of Kirei-Ko to bow the Goblin Sneak, so no second attack. And we have... And we have the favor on L5fiber side. And we see a new flop. They're playing pretty fast, these guys. I mean, makes sense, because Scorpion Mirror can take forever. Alright, so we do see a Shusuru Takao. I'm butchering that name. Absolutely butchering that name. And a favored niece comes down from Adeptus. Are we going to see another play here by... Oh, we don't. So we do see a pass from L5fiber. Something that's worth keeping in mind here is that since both players is on Forged, we're not gonna see any Fate Worse Than Death shenanigans, which actually limits their total Dishonor options quite a bit. We do see... Alright, so we do see Manipulator trigger to increase the bid, and then the response is Kirei-Ko to bow the Manipulator. Neat, neat, neat. And first attack is going to come in from L5fiber. He is going for firing and find secret cache. Alright, so a steadily increasing card advantage for Adeptus here, but there is a bit of a honor disadvantage involved here. If he can just... Basically, if he can just stay afloat for a bunch of turns, he can use this honor disadvantage to just box the opponent down to his level while still maintaining card advantage. Which should be pretty nice. And I don't think any of the players run any Banzai or anything, but I can take a quick peek actually. 2 Banzai from the player from L5fiber, and 2 Banzai from... Okay, so they do run... Ooh. Excuse me. Alright, so we do see a Banzai go down on favored knees. And only the first part of Banzai, not the second part where you lose an honor. And the response is instantly a Banzai from the Goblin Sneak. So both players had now one of their Banzais gone. And that means there's only 1 Banzai left in each deck. Alright, and we see a Dishonor on the Bayushi Lyre, so that means there's no Forged going down on this Lyre. Favored Knees discards Calling in Favors, makes sense, their opponent doesn't run many attachments. And another Calling in Favor is gone. In fact, the opponent only runs negative attachments, so you don't really want to move them anyway. That's good, having them discarded to favored knees. That's gonna feel pretty nice. Are we gonna see a conflict here though from... I think it's not too unreasonable to have a Ooh. Problem is you can't go to Upholding Authority because then you defend and pull out and then you get to see his hand and discard. Alright, not using his conflict opportunity to not lose to unopposed. Seems fine. Seems reasonable. He's not going to claim the favor anyway at this point, regardless of what he does. So his opponent is going to win this conflict, but it's only the Water Ring. You don't care about the Water Ring. Like, there's so many rings here that could be worse. Void. Earth. Air. Oh, this I didn't notice. So the opponent is actually on Seeker of Air, whereas Adeptus is on Keeper of Air. That could be hugely important later on. Yeah, Shutrev, you're correct. Oh, so we do see a For Shame here to bow the Lyre. So this means Secret Cache is breaking. That explains the Dishonor on the Lyre as well earlier. That's very good, that's very strong. Breaking Secret Cache here is really good. Are we going to see a conflict character here to defend? He does run some. Oh, we're going to see the combo get thrown back. So court games to dishonor an opponent. And we're going to see a For Shame here unless the opponent court games back. I still think you're fine with... Whoa! Alright. That's ballsy. You gotta remember to use the box here, though. You can't do stuff like that and then not box for a turn. Just use your stronghold here to steal an honor or whatever. Not steal, but either you gain one or you remove one from your opponent. There, here we go. He removes one from the opponent. You know, being down to 3 honor against Dishonor Scorp, albeit one that doesn't run backhanded compliment because of Seeker. So he's gotta feel a little bit safer because there's no backhanded compliment coming in, but still 3 honor is very dicey, especially if you're on Forged Edict as well. But now he's first player, he has the ability to go air. Air is gonna be super strong here. Yeah. I think we're gonna see an air conflict first, especially if he sees a keeper. He doesn't see a keeper, okay. So this really needs to stay alive for all Way of the Scorpions to get cycled as well. After that, he's probably fine. Way of the Scorpions and maybe even the second assassination is stuff that he really wants to dump. Okay, actress, non-shinobi character. It's nothing too exciting. I mean, Liar is always nice. The shinobi becomes something that just draws a card. If you're gonna attack into with military here, you definitely go with Manipulator, because losing Manipulator to Armor is fine, I think. Yeah, you're probably right, shoot. So Adeptus most likely has already a duty in hand to protect against weird shenanigans. Oh, and we see a 1-2 bid, so Adeptus is down to 2 honor. That is super scary territory. How many courtiers does he have? 1. I mean, if he could have quite easily gone for a 5 bid here and dutied, because even if it gets cancelled by Forged, he can cancel with his own Forged. Yeah, this is a pretty solid attack. Air military onto upholding authority forces a defense with a stronger character. And he's fine with that. I can't remember. I'm gonna have a quick peek. Shoot. Fiber. How many censures does he run? None. He runs 1 Voice of Honor though from his splash. So, no censures. He also runs Ambush, which is interesting. Oh, shameful display. You 100% defend this with favored knees. There's just no other point in doing anything with it. This way your favored knees actually becomes pretty big. Now the opponent basically needs to have Mark or Shame to win this. Alright, so court games to re-honor his character. Still, that's not enough. And we see a counter court game. So court games discards court games, as it normally does. And there's basically no political buffs in any player's deck. There's some debuffs. I think there's 1 Fire Madness and 2 Mark of Shame left in L5fiber deck. Mark of Shame would have been pretty good there on the favored knees. But yeah, no Earth Ring for L5fiber. Right, so what do you attack with here? Alright, that's a good attack. And you attack into upholding authority with the Alibi Artist. Yeah, this seems fine. Farming that, upholding. Yeah, you're probably correct. So re-honoring indicates that he has an edict ready for stuff, but that actress is getting sacrificed anyway to bring in a liar. This is pretty good. That lets him draw a card at the end of it, and he's currently actually winning this conflict from it. Yes, that is very true. The 2-bid does indicate a I can swim setup, which I assume he was really itching to put onto Aramoro. Which is why Aramoro has very carefully stayed out of conflicts. I guess. But we are probably going to see Aramoro attack, and this illusionist might bait him into using his ability. Or why would it? He would be winning and breaking wherever he goes. Yeah, he would be. Yeah, he shouldn't use Aramoro here. There's no point in using Aramoro. Killing off this illusionist is not great. Right, so you definitely defend to avoid unopposed. Oh. Hold on. Wait. Yeah. I think I perhaps like going fire here more. I don't get what the watering is doing for him here. Is it... Alright, so here's probably what's going to happen with watering. He wants to have fire with the fate next turn himself. Which is odd, because the watering next turn is actually going to be super good. So much stuff he can bow with it. Of course, this armor is not going to be long for this world. Oh, Collector goes down, but it's too late. That's going to be too late. He has to swim now. Okay, he has to swim now, and he has to cancel the cancel. You can't wait. If you wait, a Collector is going to remove the Dishonor and Mark of Shame. Oh, come on. So, Favor needs to discard the third calling in favors, and now Aramoro isn't dishonored anymore. So, he is currently breaking. I don't know, Kilfelsil. We'll see. Sweden is playing as well, and I might support my team by helping out the guy playing rather than stream. So odd, the entire setup of the round looked like he had the I can swim. And then when he had a chance to swim Aramoro, he didn't. He pitched, calling in favors instead. Strange. Alright, so... Stronghold hasn't been used yet. Stronghold definitely needs to be used here. He cannot forget the Stronghold in this situation. He has to use the Stronghold, either to gain honor himself or to ping one off his opponent. It's going to be so huge if he forgets this. No! What are you doing? He forgot. Everything is ready now. Oh no. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Even if he didn't want to ping the opponent, he could have gone up to 3. That's massive. Oh wow, that's going to come back to bite him. For real. Alright, so nothing spicy happens during the bids, 1-1. One player uses Storehouse. I guess the other player is going to use Storehouse and perhaps Alibi Artist. Hidden Moon Dojo is now flipped on Secret Cache, which is pretty darn good in this mashup. He's going to be able to buy this Alibi Artist and then use the Alibi Artist to draw. He's going to have to start to be a little bit careful though, because if he draws too much, I mean, 12 cards. 12 cards is not too much. And I'd be horribly surprised if he hasn't found Duty by now, considering he's actually seen... There's only 9 cards in his deck he hasn't seen. Alright, so we do see an attack here coming in, and it's going to be under firing. Alright, so he did want to leave fire for this round, but I think leaving the water for this round would have been stronger. First of all, you're threatening a dishonor last turn already, and now you go in fire, and if you gone fire last round, you would have threatened a dishonor even harder, and if you go water first this turn, you have, if you win this conflict, that's a lot of potential characters you could bow. Oh, and we see a Shusuro Miyako here. That's actually great for him. He can buy Miyako with a bunch of fate and force him to discard a card or dishonor a character. It's pretty darn strong, actually, in this situation. Especially when you combo it with Hidden Moon Dojo for future rounds. The problem is this Aramora is probably going to wreak havoc on this side. What are you going to do against Aramora, really? Hope that he tries to kill a character? I don't know. 5 military is just... you can't really touch that. I have a sneaking suspicion that Adeptus might be trying to hold on to his duty for the conflict flip. Like the end of using up his entire conflict deck. Alright, so now we see an equalization on court games. So 2 court games played here and 2 court... Wait, what? Yeah, 2 court games played on this side. That's what I thought. But do you really want to shuffle this? You get in the situation where you draw Assassination and Calling in Favors again. I'm sure, of course, you get For Shame, Court Game, and Banzai back, but... at some point you sit there with your entire deck in your hand. You gotta have to actually do something with it. Alright, Mark of Shame goes down. And instantly Bayushi Collector discards Mark of Shame. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest spending of money. Oh, so he uses Mark of Shame on Aramoro now, once the collector is already been used. Okay, makes sense. He has the money to do it. He can also buy this Court Novice to go up to winning, which I suppose he probably should do. And another for shame. Wow, that's... I would have spent the money rather than the card in this situation. Yeah, I would have 100% have spent the money rather than the card to do this. You have enough money. Wait. Is he going for the win? This turn? Is that even possible? Can he win this turn? From 9? Box down to 8. If he can kill off these two. As down to 6. He might have it. So forged. Okay. So, and you can pay 1 to remove the dishonor from here. And then you can go unopposed heir. That should be fine. Unopposed heir gets him down so low. He might have it. Alright, so it's down to 8. It goes down to 7. Unopposed heir. Down to 5. Down to 3. Triple backhanded compliment. He's going for the win. He potentially... Oh, wow. That is rough. He potentially has to win this turn. That is insane. You gotta go... If he gets the unopposed heir here, that could be it. If he doesn't forget the frigging box again, which he did last turn. Alright. No. Really? I thought 100% it was going to be an unopposed heir. You know what the biggest brain play from the opponent is now is probably to banzai this. Force him to take back the Adeptus Shadows to his hand. Use your stronghold. Use your stronghold. Come on, man. Just channel... Yes, there you go. There you go. So there we see the stronghold used. He would have been down to 5 in this situation if he'd used it last turn. I'm still surprised he didn't go heir. I mean, he's been through pretty much his entire deck. Does he not have triple backhanded compliment? How can he not have triple backhanded compliment in his hand right now? Does he run triple backhanded compliment? Now I have to actually check. Yes, of course he does. So... why didn't you... triple backhanded compliment? And go heir? I don't know. Alright, so we have 1 Forged Edict used against 1 Forged Edict used. So... even if L5fiber has 2 Forged Edicts here. We're probably going to see 2 Forged Edicts from Adeptus as well. I think Adeptus just wins this round. Yeah, I don't really see any way he doesn't win this round. Duty. Yeah, okay, duty. Duty is the way he doesn't win this round. I mean, he's definitely entering dangerous territory here with... I mean, what is he? He's going to be down to, like, basically nothing in his conflict text. So he's definitely saving duty for the conflict flip. Because now he has valuable stuff in the discard pile as well. Like, Noble Sacrifice, huge. Mark of Shame, Forged Edict, Court Games for Shame, Court Games, Kiriko, like, all of them. Actually pretty huge. Yeah, but the way it was set up last turn, with 2 Dishonored characters leaving play, he would have been down to exactly 2 to 2 honor, and both boom boom leave play, so he has to duty the last round if he had it. Oh no. Why do you go for anything other than upholding authority? Alright, because you're afraid of the opponent bansaying you. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, 1 edict played on both sides, so both player has 2 edicts. Ooh, that's a big ambush. And he has to remember to use Stronghold here before. Oh, the Forge battle. Are we going to... Yeah, Forge battle. The last Forged. There we go. All Forged edicts are now spent. Now you have to Stronghold. And now you basically handed... You're actually... Oh, wow. You basically handed the win to the opponent, right? You go down to 1. You have to Stronghold to keep yourself from dying here. Otherwise, Shoji just walks in politically and murders you. Like, actually murders you. Okay, so this definitely game again. But that's 2 characters leaving play. That's Dishonored. Oh man, duty is gonna be so important. Does Adeptus? I guess the Adeptus doesn't run any more cancels. Does he run a single Censure here? He does not. Intriguing. Alright, so he gains 1 from City of the Open Hand. Alright, so he just doesn't want to die. Now he should go water. No, you go... Wait. What's happening? You should definitely have gone political water with Shouju. I think. You just... Oh no, that's rough actually. Yeah, that's probably not the best move. Alright, here we go. Political fire with both. But just showed you? Odd. Here we go. It looks like he's figured out the water play. Or the fire play. I don't know. There's definitely some undecidedness going on here. Or indecisiveness, maybe? That's how you say it. Right, so we do end up with political fire. Sacred Cache looks at the top 3 cards, which he definitely knows all of them what they are. So are we going to see... Alright, we see Alibi Artist defend. It's the Dishonored Alibi Artist, so if Shoujo uses his ability here, we 100% we're gonna see a Kiriko from the opponent. We do see a Soul Beyond Reproach, so Alibi Artist is actually... Yeah, Alibi Artist is successfully defending the Secret Cache currently. But I imagine this is basically just a bait for Shoujo to trigger the ability without using an honor here. And then Kiriko will bow Shoujo. And we see a Soul Beyond Reproach to honor Shoujo. Now Shoujo is breaking without anything else. I imagine the Loyal Challenger will be played here. Oh, that's actually dangerous. No. You play the Loyal Challenger, you challenge Shoujo to a duel, you lose, you go, oh, I guess I don't lose an honor then. Oh, too bad. Oh, that's rough. But you should definitely play Loyal Challenger here. You play the Loyal Challenger, you challenge Shoujo to a duel, you lose the duel and go, oh, how sad, I guess I'm blank. Oh, no. Alright, so we're gonna see the voice here. No, you can't do the voice because there's one honored character on each side. So are we gonna see the Kiriko? Yeah, there's the Kiriko. Oh, wow, that's actually a huge mistake. You knew that was gonna come. Like the Kiriko, you could see him baiting it, all that conflict. This is going to be very rough for L5fiber. So he dishonored an opposing character. Alright, to have it like this. Is he gonna drop a conflict character? The problem is, Adeptus still has the Loyal Challenger to play for free here. Not for free, but he has to pay for it obviously, but I mean this is just something he can just play, right? So, as the Scorpion player on this side, as Adeptus, you just go fire back and you go for upholding authority. Or Secret Cache. I mean, you might as well go for Secret Cache. It's already been used this turn. Yeah, now you end up in a rough situation with like 4 characters dishonored. Not 4, 3. I can't count today. I'm sorry. And we just see a pass. And we see the win, and we're going to see Takao dishonored. Yeah, and that's 1, 2, 3 honor gone. And then you play 1 backhanded compliment. Just for him to use his voice, I guess. And then you play 1 backhanded compliment for him to use his duty. I guess. Because you have to be careful of that one voice of honor that otherwise would cancel your duty. That's actually the mistake I can see Adeptus doing here, going like super greedy and doing like a big bid or something, and then completely forgetting about the voice. Oh, this Earthring can be huge. If this discards duty or like a something else important, a backhanded compliment, this is potentially disastrous. Do you just eat this? Do you go down to 1? Do you go down to 1 honor? Maybe you do. I don't know, that's scary because this is a big shoujo for next round. That big shoujo is for sure going to go air next round. So you really kinda have to try and kill L5fiber this round, if at all possible. Can you do it? Right, so Cunning Magistrate comes in. And that's it. You win that conflict. Okay. Now what? Now what? Issue is going to be everything drop, box. And then still duty is alive. Wait, you gotta force him. You have to force him to waste the voice of honor. He passes. You should have backhanded. Like, you either backhanded and force him to waste the voice, or you backhanded and force him to waste the duty. You can't just let him get that 1 back for free. I think it's a mistake there to not force him to use either the voice or the duty. Force him to show that he has it. You definitely should have done that. What you even gonna do here against this honored shoujo going ham on you with the airing? All 3 mark of shame is gone. I don't know. Yeah, this seems fine. Military water? That's an odd choice. Just buy a Sokujin here. And don't care. Yeah, you buy a Sakujin. And then you go... Wait, you go... Now convert Shoujo for air with another Sakujin. Oh, now he boxes. Alright, let's see. Let's see the backhanded compliment start flying. Let's see the backhanded compliment starting to fly. So, one is gone due to voice. One is gone due to... Okay. Do you play the second Sakujin here for double covert? Okay, that's a very nice province to find while on the Earth ring with Sakujin. An extremely nice province to find. So Shoujo can't defend. You're going Earth. Like, what is he realistically waiting for? You end up in a situation here where you lose next turn. Like, you 100% lose next turn because you draw from the Earth ring, you have 0 conflict cards, and next turn you flip your conflict deck and you go like, aha, duty, and then he voices you and you're dead. I think Adeptus has killed himself for being way too passive with his backhanded compliments. He could have forced out the voice last round. Now he's giving the opponent the ability to find duty as well, because I think Shooterev is right that L5fiber hasn't found duty yet. You end up in such a weird situation here. I don't know what you're trying to do. Now the opponent just goes... You're just dead. He slams in political air with Shoujo and you're dead. 100% dead. There's nothing you can do about it. Alright, I apologize if it makes me sound super harsh on Adeptus, but he has his entire deck in his hand, and we're not seeing a single backhanded compliment when his opponent is on 1 honor. You have to start forcing... Like, if you don't play a backhanded compliment in this conflict, you actively played to lose. Because you know he has voice. You know he has voice online. The airing is going to kill you. Sure, you have... Okay, there we go. For shame. Alright. Here we go. That's the plan. No voice. Cool. And here we're going to see the duty, and then 2 more backhanded compliments. Yes, okay, that's the plan. I get it. I understand now. Finally, I understand the plan. It was me that was being thick, not Adeptus. I was the thick one. And now, the remaining 2 backhanded compliments will kill L5fiber. There is no way the last card in this deck is a backhanded compliment. there should be no way that the last card in his deck is a backhanded compliment. You should just double backhanded compliment. Where's the backhanded compliments? Oh. Yes, okay. Still one Soul Beyond Reproach, so there's a way to get it online. Both the voice and... So there's a possibility to get the voice online here. And if he does that... Alright, so if he plays to do that, alright, it's only a single voice, yeah, okay. So if he gets to do that, you still have... What are you doing? You give him an honor. Oh my god, my head hurts. Oh. Yes, Fiber still does have a Soul Beyond Reproach, but then you force him to use it. You force him to use the Soul Beyond and the Voice of Honor. You force his hand. You have plenty of ways to make him lose one honor later on. You have to force his hand. Did he not draw with the Earth Ring? Hang on. He went Earth and then chose not to resolve Earth. I am not convinced by the plays on display here. I am super not convinced about the plays on display here. I have no clue what's going on anymore. I'm just super baffled by some of the decisions made. I would love to hear an explanation later on, actually. Because it just feels like... I mean, there's still a very real possibility that the opponent don't have this, either the second Soul Beyond Reproach or the Voice of Honor. I think the possibility that he had a Voice of Honor was rather large, but I think you should definitely force him to use the Voice of Honor. Because now you have this like looming threat that he's have the voice for something big, like your own duty. Your own duty that you basically need to play next round to not lose the game. That one. That one that he's going to cancel. And then you're just dead. If L5fiber has the Soul Beyond Reproach and the voice, you just handed him the win. I mean, he still has to navigate this turn, but all he has to do this turn is not lose. Oh, okay, ideally you actually... It actually doesn't even matter if you win the air ring. Yeah, he could have even let you win the air ring because you still lose 5 honor next turn. You lose 5 honor next turn. If he has Soul Beyond Reproach, he should play it at the end of the... Oh, wait. Illusionist. Shit. Okay, that's the safe. That's the safeguard. But then this is a strictly wrong move as well. You should go for the Void Ring and void off the Illusionist, so that in the Fate phase, you soul on Shouju, and then you win the game. Hell, even fire! Winning fire is fine. Or you just break the stronghold. Why not? Or you just break the stronghold. Why the frig not? Yeah. Yeah. That's Kachiko. That's breaking. I'm gonna be honest, that's almost a tiny bit anticlimactic for me. 2 Dishonor Scorpion and 1 actually loses on Stronghold Break. Oh well. It was... In the end, I think it was like a really interesting game. Because I think Adeptus was like way too passive with his stuff. Like super much too passive. I think there's no way he didn't have like the double backhanded complement last turn. I think he very much should have used them last turn. To try and force stuff to happen. Like, if the Soul Beyond Reproach was still sitting in these 11 cards, which is entirely possible, if that Soul Beyond Reproach was still sitting in here, L5fiber dies last turn. If the Voice of Honor is still sitting in these 11 cards, he dies last turn. Any of those things happening, he dies last turn. I think you take that bet, because otherwise you end up in a situation like this. Okay, even if Kachiko wasn't dropped here, you have to realize that at the end of this turn, if he just doesn't have to win this, you go Void here, right? And you void out the Illusionist, and he does have those 2 things, Soul Beyond Reproach and Voice of Honor. In the in the Fate phase, he uses Soul to honor Shouju, and then when draws happen and you play Duty to not die, he voices your Duty. And he doesn't have to worry about backhanded compliments this round because he's back up to 6 honor. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't know, Akakus85, were you in voice with the guy or what? And 1 to 40 he didn't have it. I mean, are you on about the backhanded compliment on Adeptus side? Because it's actually less than 1 than 40, because he had seen that card at the bottom of his deck several times because of cash triggers and what's they called? Alibi artists. So he had deliberately had to put it on the bottom like 4 times instead of drawing it. 1 to 4. I mean, he has 11 cards still in his deck. He has seen a few from the secret cache. He needs to have them both as well. I could easily see, like, if you have the choice between Kachiko or Soul Beyond Reproach with an Alibi Artist as well, you might choose Kachiko over Soul Beyond Reproach, and might be on the bottom. We don't know. It's just, I mean, I'm not saying... I would probably assume that he probably has the 2 cards, even as I'm Adeptus here. But I also would play so that I force him to show me that he has them. Right? Because if by some fluke he don't have them, I win. And if he do have them, I'm in a pretty good spot. Anyway. I'm definitely in a better spot than I am now. Yeah, so to me it just doesn't make sense. But, I mean, clearly there was some clever things going on from Adeptus, like the 4 shame on the Shoju to remove the honored status. So that voice wasn't online, so we could start backhanded. And then, of course, the opponent had the duty. But then I would have just kept backhanded him. Force him to show the Soul Beyond Reproach. And if I had another 4 shame, maybe all 4 shame was used at that point. Yeah, all 4 shame was used at that point. So, no luck there, but... yeah. It's weird. And also, yeah. I just think that Adeptus was a little bit too conservative with his backhanded compliment. He could have put his opponent in a much more difficult situation sooner if he'd just been a little bit more frugal with him. Like, you don't actually need them to finish off your opponent, right? Because there's so many other options to dishonor. Especially like with the coverts and just general dishonor and unopposed and stuff, so... You're not even too scared about the opponent banzaiing you on upholding if you spent all your backhanded as well. It's just... I don't know. I felt like Adeptus could have a very real chance of clinching out this game if he just dared use the stuff that he already had. After duty used during show your conflict. Yes, I can. Okay, Secret Cache is baking. Backhanded compliment is used. Duty, cancel, loss. Shogi reduces Alibi Artist skill. Alibi Artist is discarded. Secret Cache is breaking. Adept of Shadows is played into the conflict. Secret Cache is breaking. Pass, pass. Loyal Challenger gains him 1 honor. And then he gains 2 from the airing. No. For shame, dishonors Bayushi showed you. And then Shuryu gets used. Then backhanded compliment gets used. Then duty. Then Shouju kills. Shouju is still ordinary. Adept of Shadows get played. Shouju is still ordinary. Pass, pass. Wins. Breaks. This gets from Loyal Challenger, yeah. I think he should definitely have pushed for... he should have forced the opponent to show that he had the second Soul Beyond Reproach at that point, and that he had the Voice of Honor as well. I think you need to force him to show that he has those cards. Yes, the only way out for Fiber was SBR plus Voice. Still with... he had 12 cards in his deck at that point. Yeah, that was the only out. And even if he has that out, you have to force him to use it. Because otherwise, like I said, you end up in a situation like, he just survives this turn, right? And he plays SBR in the draw phase, especially if he voids off this illusionist. He plays SBR in the draw phase and has Voice of Honor online for the duty next turn. So you're not forcing him to use that to save himself. It means he can use it to kill you instead. Alright, I'm not gonna harp on about that anymore. Clearly there was some incredibly clever plays from both players at several points during this game. And it's very easy to backsit when you have, you know, a disconnection from the game. You have a chat to discuss with. So, I mean, these are both terrific players. So I'm just gonna leave with that and say thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'll see you next time.